I hope you're having a wonderful Thursday. I do have 10 a.m., so I'm gonna go ahead and get started. I do have some help. They're helping me add everyone to the meeting, so I want to be mindful of your time. So we may have a little bit of extended time for our meeting today, but I'll go ahead and go through what we need to. Again, thank you for attending today's PRLU provider call August the 4th, 2022. We are recording this meeting so that you can use it as a reference at a later time. So I did want to start out on a positive note for our providers and just kind of check with you all to see if anything positive has been happening at your agencies. Did you have a successful summer? Was it calm? Was it kind of more than you expected this summer? Was everything okay? Anybody willing to share?
Well, Ebony, this was the first summer that we really did a pretty rigid summer refresher with activities and school, and that made it that had our summer go much smoother.
Good, good, good to hear. It's like when you keep your kids busy, they're
Yes.
less likely to kind of
Yes.
kind of do
So
what they do
that will
best.
be our new norm.
Yes, I certainly agree with that. Anybody else had anything positive happen during the summer?
Yes. Here at Perimeter Behavior Forest City, we also had a reduction in ESIs, and that was due to refocus on de-escalation techniques. We are trying something a little bit different with our with another unit. Kids who need a single room or who have specialized issues, we're trying that as well. So our summer is really ending on a high note. We're doing activities. Of course, our gym opened back up, and we're doing like some football and basketball. So and
Good.
planning hopefully to have a field day for the kids, like a back to school field day.
Good. That's really good to hear from you, Mr. Jackson, because I know you guys have been working really hard on getting that agency up to where it should be.
Yes.
And so we do recognize that and appreciate all the effort that your agency is doing. So thank you for that. Anybody else?
This is Charlie at Southern Christian Children's Home. We've had a very busy summer, but it was planned that way. We still have some coming back from vacation. We have one more camp to go to before school starts for one of our kids. We've hired some more house parents / resource parents. So we are making progress. Our gym we've got the floor in, we're remodeling our gym, and we've got the floor in, but we don't have it laid down yet. So we've got that project yet to do, but we're getting a lot closer. So progress is continuing to be made.
Awesome, awesome. I see Miss Jaylyn Price on here. I'm gonna pick on you, Miss Jaylyn. How are things going over there at Little Creek?
Everything is going great. So this summer we've had a lot of water house activity, water bounce house activity, water day activities. So they do those like twice a month. I think we just had our last one. Of course, school is gonna get ready to start back. So we're gonna do we plan on having like a homecoming this semester. So we're working on it.
Good, good. So it's really exciting to hear you all really getting involved with the kids, because there's something that they may be missing, because normally if they were, in their normal environments, they would have possibly participated in some of those activities. So thank you for giving those youth that experience that they may be missing out on. Okay, so I did want to talk about preparing for back to school, and just ask you guys a couple of questions. So has your agency discussed plans when your youth attend school, for those who attend off your campus and go to school? What are you going to do when they are exposed to COVID? So that's a big issue that you guys may need to consider. And then, are you prepared when your staff may or may not test positive for COVID? Because we ran into that quite a bit when COVID was really active. I'm hearing that the numbers are going back up. It's not as bad as far as like physically being um, uh, bad for your body or whatever, but we are seeing those increase COVID cases around the state. So that's something that you guys may need to consider when the youth are going back to school. And they're exposed to many other children and they may come back positive with COVID. So do you have a plan for your agency? We don't want you to have to deal with ratio concerns because we want to make sure all the kids are safe. Or if you already have a plan in place, can somebody share what has worked for you all in the past to avoid shortages of your staff?
I don't know about everybody else, but I called 23 people this week. 4 showed up. One actually got all the information I needed, and 2 don't want to change their driver's license. People are so connected, especially Texas, Louisiana, and Mississippi. They do not want to have an Arkansas license. So
Uh-oh.
I am seeing that struggle. You know, you're hearing that everybody's wanting to work, but I mean, I'm not having a good experience with that.
Okay. Does anybody have any advice for her? I certainly don't myself.
Hi, this is Carla from Forest City. Can you hear me?
Yes.
One of the things that we're doing, I know it's difficult to, get staff in. What we've been doing is trying to recruit aggressively and also have more orientation. I mean, you have more groups, you have more people that would apply, but then you have some, like she said, that don't want to complete the processes. But with the rules, we got to make sure that all backgrounds and things are in. So we just basically started continuing to reach out to different folks and see if we can kind of broaden our horizon to prepare for, to beef up our staffing. My only recommendation is to continue to stay optimistic, if that helps, and just go in and continue to recruit. Out of 10, you'll probably get 5. And then out of that 5, you may have 3 that'll stay. But that's just what we're dealing with across the board when it comes to bringing on new staff. So it's just been requiring us to have more orientations than we've had in the past.
Thank you, Ms. Carla.
You're welcome.
For us at Mill Creek, Arkansas, we're actually having a pretty good year. And that's kudos to our director of education. She recruits year round for that. We've actually had a lot of turnover from our local school district. So we had conversations with those teachers throughout the year. And I think we had 3 teachers that we weren't going to renew their contract. And so we had a plan ahead of time, and we're just seeing the fruits of her labor planning ahead. So I think that the long-term goal is recruitment, but also it's just being ready to have those conversations with people. Teachers turnover is a big deal right now. There's a lot of disgruntled teachers. They just don't like the way the public school system is set up a lot. And so yeah, those conversations are pretty easy to have for us. So that's just my thoughts.
Thank you, Chris. Appreciate that. Okay. So next, I did want to acknowledge our other units or divisions that may be on the call as well. And I do see representation from the regulatory check unit. And I just wanted to see if you guys were having any concerns or issues that we needed to address with the providers while we have them available, or is everything going smoothly?
Everything's going smoothly on our end. We are working as quickly as we can to get your background checks processed. Really, the main thing is just remembering to make sure that your consent forms are accurate, the information is accurate, your notary section is completed. And that's the only holdup that really will keep those from getting processed. And then I do just want to let everyone know that the Washington County location is in the process of moving. So if you're in Washington County, keep an eye on the fingerprint website when you make an appointment. Those that facility should be blocked off, but if it is not, if you get a cancellation, that may be why. So you may want to look at the annex location instead of the main. So that is the only update that I really have for today. If you have any direct questions, I'm going to put my contact information and my team in the chat box. So if you need anything, reach out to us. We're here. We want to help. So just let us know if there's anything we can do.
Okay, thank you, Kayla. And I see Rachel Carlton had put in the chat that they have already moved. Rachel is one of our licensing specialists in the Washington County office, and she has included the address, I believe.
Yes, that is the new location, but the fingerprint machines are not set up there yet. So
Okay,
when you schedule fingerprints, it should not allow you to make any at that location just yet. So check back on Monday. We hope the machine will be ready to go then.
thank you, thank you.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, I see Miss Lisa Kelly. She's with Adoptions, I believe. How are you?
I am good. How are you?
I'm
Nice
fine.
to hopefully see you in person.
Yeah. So do you have any questions? We sometimes we don't have any adoption staff. If we do, it's really few. So I always want to acknowledge you guys.
Thank you. No, I don't have any questions today. Thank you though for asking.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Good morning, Mr. Jackson. So now I did want to talk about the ELS, the Enterprise Licensing System training. We do have our program coordinator, Jasmine Hicks, and she's going to provide an overview training for ELS. We do have some people from that can assist with questions concerning ELS. We have been running to quite a few questions from the providers, so feel free to ask and we'll hopefully be able to answer your questions. If not, then we'll have to have someone from that IT team to get back with you. And it may take a day or so, so just FYI on that. And before we get started, I did want to ask, did anyone have any trouble with either registering for the enterprise licensing system, or once you were in, you could not see your facilities?
Ebony, if you're all right, I'll go ahead and kind of talk a little bit more maybe about some of those, initial issues that you see when you launch any new system to help out providers, if that's all right with you, Ebony.
That's totally fine. Thank you, Becky.
All right. Hey guys, my name's Becky Mitchell, and I work very closely with Ebony here at the Division of Child Care. And I seem to kind of be the provider contact. So your contact for this new enterprise licensing system. I also work with the child care providers all throughout the state. One of the things, and I work very closely with our IT department, and we do have Matt Bond, who's in our IT department, on this call today to help with some of these answer some of these questions or things that you may be experiencing. So just kind of giving you a rundown of our launch date. It did launch this Monday. Sunday night, there was a link that was sent out to those who created an account. And through that link, that is where you were able to access the new system and log on and get into your system. It did have a 24-hour window. So if you haven't logged in yet, I'm going to go ahead and put my information into this chat box. Just reach out, send me an email. And actually, Ebony or Jaleesa, would you mind putting my contact information in the chat box for everybody? So if you haven't logged in, just reach out to me. I'm going to put you on our tracker so that we can get you that new link sent out so that you can log into the system. We also have seen it where some of our providers have logged into the system and then they can't see anything, like their facilities aren't there. So if you're experiencing that as well, just go ahead and email me and I'll get connected with IT so that we can get you that access that you need. It's kind of a really exciting week here because we have the company Deloitte who has built this system. They are actually here on ground. They opened up what they're calling a command center. And so we just hop into this command center to be like, we've got these things going on with our new system. So what that means for you all is this is the best week to get into that system and just play around, click on all those buttons and learn it. Because if you see something that's just not right, just not working correctly, we have that direct access to that company to get this resolved now. So this is really like the best time to go ahead and jump in. Kind of on that said, are there any, before we kind of turn it over to Jasmine, who I believe is going to give you a little bit of a walkthrough, are there any issues or anything that you guys have seen outside of not being able to log in because you didn't make that 24-hour window, or that your facility information isn't there? Is there anything else that's come up? Hey, that's a good sign. I think silence is a good sign right there on that one. Well, just know I'm here for you. My email is in that chat. I think my phone number, hopefully they're going to get that in the chat for you too. I'm accessible. On that note, Ebony, I'm going to hand it back to you to maybe hand to Jasmine.
All right, thank you, Becky. Yes, please, Jasmine, if you're ready, you can go ahead and take over the screen.
All right, good morning, everyone. I'll go ahead and share my screen. Ebony, I think you have to enable participant screen sharing.
If you make her a co-host, that'll get her there.
There we go. I think I did it.
Okay, let me try. Okay, yeah. Okay, can everyone see my screen? Okay.
Yes.
Give me 1 second, trying to. Okay. So once you get logged in into your provider portal, this is the home screen that you will see. You'll get to your account, your facility under placement and residential licensing. You will just click manage. Once you click manage, it'll bring you to this home screen, and you're able to manage any applications that you've submitted. So if you're trying to open another facility and we have not yet approved that, it will be under manage applications. All of your current facilities will be under manage facilities. So you'll just click get started. Once you click get started, you should see your facility listed here. In order to get to your facility, you'll hit view. Okay, and this is your home page for your facility. So this is where you'll go to manage your facility. So your agency information is just the type of agency you have, the purpose of your agency. You have the tab that has your agency address and contact information listed. You're able to edit these details. You have your owner information here. If you are a facility, a placement facility that has homes, they'll appear here and you'll be able to manage those from here. Any certifications or anything that you have will appear here. The Documents tab allows you to upload any necessary documents that's needed for your facility. You will just hit Add Attachments, and it'll bring this up for you to upload files. You'll choose the document type and hit Upload. And once you do that, we'll get a notification on our end that you've uploaded a document if needed. Now, the Related Links tab is probably what you'll be using the most. This is where you'll be able to see any notices we've posted for you. They'll appear under newly posted notices. Once you view those newly posted notices, they'll appear under viewed notices. You'll be able to see your facility visits. So when we come out and we complete our licensing visits for you, they'll appear under here under new facility visits. You'll be able to see any facility complaints that's been submitted. Now, they won't appear until 30 days after it's been submitted. So this is if a citizen has submitted a complaint on your facility and we've worked it on our end and processed it. After that 30-day time frame, it'll appear here under View Facility Complaints, and you'll be able to view it on there. But of course, prior to that 30 days, we would contact you about the complaint and do our whole process on complaints with you. Here is where you'll be able to submit provider reported incidents, and we're going to go through submitting one of those. I'm pretty sure you'll use this a lot. Here you'll be able to submit any alternative compliance requests or special considerations. And here you'll be able to submit a change of information request. So if you need to change your facility's phone number, if you have a new administrator or anything like that, you'll go here to submit that change. So we'll go through submitting a provider reported incident, an alternative compliance request, and submitting a change of information request. Okay, so in order to submit a provider reported incident, you'll go to that tab, provider reported, submit a provider reported incidents. Any that you have already submitted will appear here under submitted provider reported incidents. Well, you need to start a new one. You'll go here under start provider reported incident. And here, it'll basically be the same as the form you fill out. You're just doing it electronically now. So you'll need to put the incident date, the incident type, I'm sorry, which is, it's not populating, but it should show either licensing or maltreatment. I'm in a training environment now, so that may be why mine isn't populating, but it should give you the option to choose either a licensing report or a maltreatment. And then you'll put in your incident date, whenever the incident happened, and you'll put in your report description. In here, you'll just put in all the information that you usually submit to us, what happened, the resident's name, any information that we need, you'll put there in that report description box. Reporter information, you'll put your name, whomever it is that's filling out that incident form, your first and last name, your role, and any additional comments that you would like us to note. And you'll hit submit. I'm going to try to do it. I don't know if it's going to let me since it's not giving me an incident type. So give me 1 second. Okay, yeah, it's not going to let me go forward without this field. I should, again, be choosing either licensing incident or a maltreatment incident, and I would hit submit. So once I would hit submit, That incident that I just reported will show under here under submitted provider reported incidents. So I'll go into one I've already completed before and show you what it'll look like. It's just have all the information that you just filled in, and it'll be submitted to us on our end. Once you submit it, it'll be assigned to the appropriate licensing specialist, and we will reach out to you if we need any additional information. Once we reviewed it and we've gone through the entire process for our reported incidents, we'll hit complete and you'll be able to see the status as complete here. Whenever we change the status on our end, it'll show on your end here under status. So you'll know what's happening with the reported incident. Okay, and that's it for provider reported incidents. Does anybody have any questions or anything? Nope.
I have one question. Who all can submit? Does my caseworker, does my social service aide, do I need to get them access to this so they can, or is this something that I, as the Director of Children's Services, need to be filling out?
Correct me if I'm wrong, Ebony, but I believe anyone that has access to your login for your facility should be able to submit a provider reported incident.
Okay, thank you.
That's my understanding as well. Is Matthew Bond available? Is he on the call?
I'm here.
Hey, Matt. So once they add their additional staff or employees, can those employees also submit information into ELS?
I believe that's how it's set up.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Okay.
Yep.
You have any more questions? Sorry. Okay, if we don't have any more questions, I'll go move forward to submitting an alternative compliance request and show you that process. So although it's titled as alternative compliance request, you also can submit special considerations from here as well. Any that you've already submitted will appear here under alternative compliance requests. Once you want to start a new one, you'll go to start alternative compliance request. The request date will automatically populate here. In your narrative, you'll put what you generally would put if you submit alternative compliance and special considerations to us, what you're requesting and the reason for the request. So I'm gonna go ahead and fill it in. Okay, so you'll put in your complete description there, whatever you generally submit to us, and you'll add your regulation here. So you'll hit add regulation. So here, this is a residential facility. I put placement in the comments, but if you are a residential facility, you're submitting special consideration or alternative compliance. Here, the title, you're going to choose whichever type of residential facility that you have, whether it's a general facility, general residential facility, sexual, rehabilitative, independent living, whatever type of residential facility you have. And the same goes for a placement agency. So if you're a placement agency and you are a regular foster care or a therapeutic foster home you're submitting a request for, you'll choose that there. So we'll choose a regular residential facility. This section will be what you'll need to choose to pull up whatever regulation you need. So if you're submitting a special consideration or alternative compliance for something that you need for your building or anything like that, you'll choose that here. So we'll choose buildings. And the regulation number, you can always keep that as all if you're not sure exactly what the number is, and it'll pull up all regulations under regular residential facilities, buildings. So you can leave that as all, and we'll leave the sub regulation number as all, and hit apply filter. And it'll pull up all regulations for residential facilities, buildings. So then you'll need to choose, just select which regulation you're submitting an alternative compliance or special consideration for. I'll just choose one. Once you hit select, it'll light up, and you just need to scroll down and hit save. Once you hit save, the regulation you should select it will auto-populate here under license regulation, and you'll just need to hit submit. Once you hit submit, the alternative compliance or special consideration that you created will appear here under alternative compliance requests, and you're able to go in and review it by clicking view. And you can look at it from there. Once you hit submit, we get a notification on our end that you have submitted an alternative compliance or special consideration request. And we'll reach out to you if we need any additional information. I believe so you will need to upload documents. When we were reviewing it under this documents tab, it doesn't give us an option to select other for you to upload documents. All of the selections are basically like application selections with documents you need to submit an application. So I believe we're submitting a ticket. Ebony, correct me if I'm wrong, to add an other option for you to be able to upload the documents needed for the request that you submit.
Yes. Matt, unless there is another place that they can upload documents for the providers that you're aware of. If not, I'll be submitting a ticket.
Are you saying you need another option?
Yes, an other option. Because what she's showing out is strictly for applications. It doesn't allow them to upload other documentation, but I'll submit a ticket for that.
Yeah, be sure to explain what you're trying to do, because that might be an enhancement.
Okay.
So just to show their process again, I submitted my alternative compliance request from here, the alternative compliance option, and then I went back to facility to get back to that home page to go to the documents tab to upload any documents that I need to submit for the alternative compliance or special consideration request. Until we get that other options selection, you could just email the documents to your assigned licensing specialist. Does anybody have any questions on submitting an alternative compliance or special consideration request? Okay, so we'll move on to the last thing, submitting a change of information request. So this is mostly for if you need to change your phone number, or you have a new administrator, or you need to change your email or anything like that. If you submit changes, like you want to change your facility name or something like that, it will have to go to the board first for things like that, and we'll be able to communicate that to you on our end. So once you submit any change request here, it'll go to the specialist to be approved first, and you'll get a notification once your change has been approved or rejected or anything like that. So basically, all you'll do is it'll pull up this like your application form. It'll give you an option to edit the things that are able to be edited. So you will just edit whatever you're trying to change. You'll just go in and edit it. Anything else you need to edit, you just go in and edit whatever change you're trying to submit. Once you finish making any changes, you'll hit submit change request. Actually, I believe you have to go through and sign again. Let me verify. Yeah, so you'll need to do the sign and submit part again. So once you change anything under these categories, if you change anything under agency, information, address, owner, documentation, or anything like that, you'll have to go to the sign and submit option and sign again. And then hit submit change request. It'll send this information to you that the application was submitted successfully. That's basically just whatever changes that you've made, it has been transferred over to us, and we'll be able to review those changes. And here is where you'll be able to see the status of the change that you submitted. So let me go back to my dashboard. Okay, so it'll take you back to your home screen dashboard whenever you submit changes. And previously they had a option for submitted change requests. I'm guessing it's sending you back to the home page on the applications instead to view the status of any changes that you've submitted. Because once you submit a change, it'll come to us. We'll see if it's something that needs to go to board or not, and we'll either approve it or deny it based on if it needs to go to board or not. And once we save whether it's approved or not, you will see the changes reflect on your end. Just trying to verify where it's going to show it. Okay, so it will show under applications, and it'll say change of information. So the application type will be change of information. And you'll have to view that to see the status of the changes that you submitted. So this is the one that I recently submitted here, and it has pending. And once we have processed it on our end, that's when you'll be able to see if it was approved or denied. And if we need to reach out to you, of course, we'll reach out to you for any changes that you submitted. And this notification bell up here, whenever we make any changes to your application or your facility, your provider reported incident, anything like that, you'll get a notification at this notification bell here, and you'll be able to click on it and review whatever changes that we have made. Okay, does anybody have any questions on that? And again, things are operating a little differently in here, maybe because I'm in the training environment. So like the incidents where you are right now able to select for the provider reported incident, a licensing or maltreatment incident, that shouldn't be an issue on your end. This is a training environment that I'm showing you right now. But does anybody have any questions or anything on submitting alternative compliance, a provider reported incidents, or submitting a change request? Okay, if not, that's pretty much it on the provider portal for submitting things to us. Ebony, did you want me to go over anything I didn't go over or explain something more that may have been confusing?
I can't think of anything at this time. I'm gonna let Becky go over anything that she may need to discuss.
Yeah, yep. Hey, Jasmine, would you mind just stop sharing your screen for one moment? That way I can see all your beautiful faces on my screen again.
Okay, 1 second.
It should be near the top of your screen with a red button that says stop share, I believe. Aha, we got it. Yay,
There it
thank you.
is.
Yeah. All right, you guys. During Jasmine's presentation, I was happy to see that a lot of you guys out there were blowing up my email. Like, that's good because I am here to help you with those questions. Just some things too, like if you're having issues, because as you all know, like this is going to be required for you guys to all use this because this is where you're going to be doing your PRIs. You're going to be able to see all your licensing inspections. So I want to make sure that you guys can get in on this one. If you do have those issues, could you just let me know in your initial email what your facility number is? And if you did create an account, so before this went live, I know that Ebony and the whole team reached out to have you guys create that account. So if you were able to do that, if you can just let me know what email address that you use, because that would be really helpful for our IT support. So your facility number, that email used to create an account, if you were able to do that. And another thing that I'm seeing, because I had quite a few people here say that they just never received that email, which could be very well true. But if you wouldn't mind just checking your spam box to see if maybe it went there, because I saw that with a couple providers as well. Any other questions or anything that I may be able to help you with right now?
This is Charlie again. Just for clarification, whenever I have questions on how to use this website or anything, I need to be talking with you, not my licensing specialist.
That is an excellent question, Charlie. And Charlie, it's so great to talk to you again. It's been a while since we've been able to do that. Yes, yeah. For specific questions about like how to kind of navigate once you're in it, your licensing specialist should be able to help you. And I'm a backup though person. If for some reason your licensing specialist doesn't know or they're just not accessible to you, I'm here for you. I want to be here for you. In this initial startup though, with making sure that you guys can get online and get into this system, I am for sure your person on that one, because I mean, literally like IT is sitting right behind me, you guys. So I'm gonna go knock on their door, and the command center this week is just down the hallway.
Okay. Well, thank you again, Becky. Thank you for that. And again, if you have any questions, please reach out to specifically about ELS, getting registered, getting yourself going. Rebecca Mitchell, she put her information and her telephone number in the chat. You can reach out to your licensing specialist and or reach out to Jasmine Hicks or myself. Again, the enterprise licensing system, it is a requirement for all of our providers. So you'll be submitting any special consideration requests, alternative compliances, any provider reports, anything that you normally send to us by email, it'll have to go into that enterprise licensing system. So like Becky said, just try it. Once you get in, just kind of just play around with it. I don't think it'll break. And if it does break, we'll try to get it fixed for you. So just take your time and kind of maneuver through the system. And so we can all get used to it, because it is also due for the licensing team as well. So just wanted to make sure that is clear. Does anybody have any questions in general that you need to discuss with the licensing unit or with the background check unit while we have them here?
I would just like to say that I think that this is going to be an upgrade with me being on the specific. I used to work for PRLU, and knowing all the background, what we used to have to do with this alternative compliance and things, this looks like a lot more efficient way of dealing with things and keeping things going smoothly. So I think this is a big upgrade. And I hope that as a provider that it'll go smoothly, which I think it will. So I appreciate all the efforts and everything that that has been going on in the PRLU.
Thank you, Charlie. Again, so we are recording this session. We'll get it uploaded to YouTube and get a link for you all if you just need to use this as a reference. And so it may take me a little bit to get that link, but I will definitely get it sent out to you all on the provider email. Okay, I think that is all that I had for today. I appreciate you guys so much for the work that you're doing. your love for the kids. So we really do appreciate it. And if you need any assistance, please feel free to give us a call or email. Thank you and have a good day.